So, welcome to episode 13 of Mockpod.
Yeah, unlucky 13?
No, I don't believe in that kind of superstition.
No, we've spoken about that.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, I was just thinking, you bought some outdoor items recently and...
I bought some!
Well, hang on.
I think you bought some!
Well, okay, look, it was a closing down sale and, there were a lot of items that were literally 30% of recommended retail. So.
I did buy one thing.
Okay, so you bought... Well, you counted as one, but I mean, it's a paired item.
Let's say two things.
Okay. I was looking at you pack your things away, and I was thinking about how you came back from travel recently, and just the whole idea of packing bags.
Yeah, I think we're both pretty light travellers, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, I think you were really successful because I saw the bag you came back with. It was how many liters is your backpack that you brought to China?
Oh, it was still pretty big. I think it was
40
like
litres.
It was like 65 litres.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 65 litre bag, and you essentially brought that home, and I was quite impressed that you did that for your 5 weeks away or whatever. What were the essential contents of that bag? If you could just give me a rundown, because I'm curious how you did it.
The main things that I had in terms of quantities would just be underwear. So I ran with the 7 days.
So your 7-day theory. Okay, so you have this theory that you have 7 pairs of underwear, and you're good?
Yeah. Because you can just wash it during the week. And the thing is...
What if it doesn't dry? You're in a cold climate.
Hair dryers.
Okay. So you'll bring a hairdryer with you?
No, every place that we stay in, has a hairdryer. So you can just hairdryer.
And unlike larger clothing items, undies are kind of easier.
Yeah, they're kind of small. Dry. So, I mean, you can wash it in the sink and then, with some powder or whatever, and then just hang them up in the bathroom. As far as underwear goes, how many would you bring?
Yeah, I actually have
same amount of time.
Similar rule, but I have the 8 underwear theory.
8? Why 8?
Yeah, 1 for emergencies, because you never know. No, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the kind of emergency you're talking about. Oh. I'm talking about if you tear it, if you get it saturated when you're on a hike, you always have that spare for some reason. Sometimes you lose a pair in the washing, it doesn't come back. So there's a number of reasons why I always think the 8th pair is crucial.
I have thought about the whole idea about just buying underwear and throwing it out, especially in countries where it's really cheap.
Because you think you're Floyd Mayweather. You're just the...
I know Floyd Mayweather does that. No, only because...
Apparently he buys pairs of socks, he uses it once, and he throws it out.
Well, how's this? So I bought a couple of pairs of underwear. They were Calvin Klein ripoffs. So they had awesome names like Calvin Kling, King Cliven.
And how are they holding up for you?
Well, I had to throw them out.
Oh.
Because I brought them
how many
home.
uses?
One. I washed them once, they shrunk, and they were just too small to put on.
That's crazy because we were in the streets of Thailand, okay, and I bought a number of pairs of underwear with rip-off Paul Smith, if everyone knows that label. And you know what? They last me to this day. I'm talking about 3 years later.
Wow.
And I just treat them like normal.
They're quality, man. The ones in Thailand are quality.
Don't call them rip-offs compared to China.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I thought China was meant to be the home of awesome rip-offs. But you know what's funny? So the centerpiece, I guess, of our packing is underwear. We can both consider that quite important.
Because it's pretty important. I guess besides that, you want to take some... I mean, we probably don't need to talk about stuff like sunglasses and... I like one short, one long. Okay,
here's the trick. So we're talking practically, both of us are here. But a lot of people, rightly or wrongly, no judgment, but... they'll bring stuff to go out in. Now, that's normally a minimal part of the trip, right? But actually, look, it still pays. People take notice of things like good shoe game, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So do you bring one pair of dressy shoes? Like what's your shoe or footwear kind of rule?
Well, as you know, I like a lot of adventure sort of gear, I guess, packing equipment. So I just go to Merrill's.
So all-purpose, all-condition, nightclub, hiking.
Look, they're not designed for the nightclub and they're not going to look great. But they have more casual varieties these days where you can just wear them pretty much anywhere.
Yeah. That's a sponsor alert because we don't have Merrill's as a sponsor,
we don't have sponsors.
But we both love Merrill's.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
good shoes.
Hashtag Merrill. Give us some sponsorship.
That'd be nice. Yeah. Some shoes.
No, we do love Merrill's. Yeah, I mean, in fact, I just bought some. But I was just looking up some military ideas. Yeah, and this constant. There's a few principles that a lot of military servicemen follow. So one of the things is practice. You pack, you unpack, you repack a few times before you go.
Nice.
What do you have you done that?
No, I've definitely packed once and then repacked, but I haven't done it as a routine thing. I can see where it comes from because in the army they'd have to pack and repack their packs all the time. Every day. Yeah,
that's right.
Every time the drill sergeant comes by. Yeah.
So I guess it lends itself to a sort of a level of efficiency. problem is I leave it till last minute often, to be quite honest.
So you're not going to pack 5 times the night before you go?
Well, 24 hours before is what I normally follow nowadays. Yeah. How about you? Do it like 1 week before?
No, about a day before as well.
Yeah, a day before. I once packed 5 hours before I left for an international trip. Terrible idea.
How'd that feel? Yeah.
Terrible idea. Struggled.
Did you forget anything?
I forgot many things.
Yeah.
And I took things I didn't need, and I was stressed. It was
threw stuff in all
so
day.
nowadays it's always 24 before, The other thing they talk about in military terms is a staging zone.
Ooh.
So that'd be like a clear space.
Oh, I love doing that. Yeah, doesn't everyone do that? Or do you think most people put it in straight in the bag?
I guess, I don't know. Like, it depends how
do you do it? Because I love laying it out. I love just laying it out in a... Maybe open space.
Yeah, I find I need to do it. Normally, the bed is a good place to use as
just so you can get a real overview of what you've got. Yeah, and you can.
So just on the packing of items, essential items, and things like that.
Yeah.
Look, have you had to? I bought a swimming costume recently.
Yeah.
I went to Kmart and I did the right thing. I put it over my underwear, so I didn't have any skin contact.
Yeah.
But what I noticed is that there's an adhesive patch. Have you ever seen this?
What does that mean?
Well, now, when these swimmers are sold, at least through Kmart, I don't know about other shops, but there's like a plastic adhesive around the zone, let's say.
Yeah, the crotch.
The crotch. And then so when you put it on, theoretically, I'm assuming a lot of people just go skin to product contact.
Oh, so they've got the adhesive there.
I don't know what people do.
So it protects the undie, but...
Like, if you get a trans swimming costume, do you go straight to the...
I mean, I don't wear, like... budgie smugglers.
You don't wear budgie smugglers. You just go loose.
Yeah, I just go loose. So
I don't know if it's Australian slang. You're probably for international listeners. You should explain budgie smugglers.
Budgie smugglers, they're just speedos. You'd call them.
Yeah, you get chafing, for example, because you go loose.
There's been occasions.
So
wrong choice of. Short.
Don't you think it might be useful to invest in some budgie smugglers?
No, because now I've got these shorts that have this netting inside and they hold everything in place. It's really good. He loves to smuggle the budgies.
I'm just saying, for comfort-wise, you're performing a swimming stroke. It's very hydro efficient.
Nice.
Yeah. One of my female friends posted a quote by the author of Prozac Nation on Facebook. Oh, yeah. It was interesting. I haven't read the book, I have to admit, but I know of it. And I generally, what it's about, like a young woman, late 20s, dealing with personal failings, depression.
It was a biography, wasn't it?
Yeah. Autobiography. So the author, Elizabeth Wurtzel, said, "Convention serves a purpose. It gives life meaning, and without it, one is in constant existential crisis." And I thought it was a fascinating quote. It just made me think about a lot of things. And, had you ever heard of that before?
I haven't heard of that particular quote in so many words, but I've heard about. Well, I've heard of other quotes actually that are very similar to it as well. But the whole idea of that humans kind of need structure to flourish.
So perhaps that's why we invent things like career, marriage, property,
religion, anything like beliefs. I guess you can say, and how you view the world, because without some sort of level of higher guidance, I guess, there's too much chaos that can ensue, I guess. Is that what happens?
Yeah, well, I looked at it a bit more sort of from point of view, that's a personal comment, and then I looked at it as like, I guess, a religiously led life as, one way of thinking, and then perhaps even a scientific kind of proof life as another way of thinking. And
but you know what's happening these days, I think, in the more... I guess millennials, that sort of generation. Is that the last generation? Is that the latest one? Or is there... I don't know if there's another one. But in any case, the way that a lot of millennials are living life now, and they're copping a lot of criticism for it, but the whole idea about, stepping outside of the traditional office to get work, for example, work remotely, work overseas, travel early, travel a lot, keep traveling, keep learning from other people. And
that's a nice catchphrase. Travel early, travel a lot. I like that.
Yeah.
That would have been something I would have followed had I thought that way before.
But just being able to live a non-traditional life, because again, traditional in saying that are these conventions that we've had. But maybe that'll become convention in the next 100 years, because as things get more automated, all that sort of stuff happens, people are going to have more leisure time. So what are they going to do with it? Well, you can work for little reason, or you could perhaps,
I guess I think as long as there's some kind of belief in place, it definitely is helpful. That's what I'd say. Because what's the opposite? If you just, abandon all beliefs, you end up leading a nihilistic life. And I haven't personally seen anyone successfully do that.
No.
So, I mean, that whole thing of trying to find some kind of meaning, however it may be, good luck to you, I guess.
I remember this quote that someone said, television's like the opiate of the masses.
Oh, yeah.
And it gives you this thing to enjoy that takes you away, obviously, but it also actually gives you a lot of structure in your life because of the way that television actually operates.
The serialization of programming.
Yeah, of programs. So that you've got, for each block of the year, you might have, I've got 10 weeks of Game of Thrones here, or I've got 20 weeks of this other show or whatever, and it actually helps structure your life as well, which is really weird. But and that's a very sort of prevalent thing, I think, and pervasive thing.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it, I guess. I see structure as a useful thing. I guess routine and habit, But it's just an interesting thing. It makes me want to see the movie. In fact, although apparently the author didn't like the movie. With he's got Christina Ricci in it. Yeah, have you ever seen the movie?
No, I've never seen it. Maybe we need to watch it.
Yeah, just on movies. I watched an incredible film for probably only the third time. It's been a layoff of years. But I watched Bad Lieutenant.
Oh, Bad Lieutenant.
This week. Abel Ferrara's,
Harvey Keitel.
1992 film with Harvey Keitel and this searing performance as a cop, let's say, who doesn't really operate within the law.
It's very gentle, very kind.
It's such a raw, fearless performance from Harvey Keitel. And I think the other thing is, it's just...
I remember, he gets his wang out, doesn't he?
He definitely lets it all out, and it has this incredible script from the female actress Zoe Lund, and she wrote this piece as a heroin addict. She died when she was, I think, in her late 30s.
Yeah, I think you remember telling me about her. That
she's in the movie.
She was a heroin advocate.
Yeah, and she's freebasing in the movie in a scene with Harvey Keitel, and you'll see that in that film. And anyway, it just got me onto this whole thing of important crime films. Although I think Bad Lieutenant's more than a crime film. It's a really, I guess, I don't want to.
It's actually more a drug tale. Like, it's more about the total loss of normality, I guess.
I see it as a tale of redemption because of without giving anything away. I mean, that's the theme that sort of comes across. But in any way, no matter how anyone sees it, it's an amazing film if you can get through it. And I've heard, I've read sort of reviews where drug takers have said it's probably the most authentic portrayal of drug use in film. Not that that's why it's good. It's just interesting how real it is,
Yeah.
But yeah, so on this topic of crime films, do you have any favourites? I was just thinking.
Yeah, it was interesting what you were saying there about it's hard actually to define necessarily what is a crime film these days, but when I think of crime films, I mean, my tastes, I guess, don't go back as far as many years as yours, so I'd be thinking about things like Heat, for example.
Yeah, that's Heat's an amazing
masterful
film. I think top 5.
Michael Mann film, yeah.
I think it's got to be top 5. Why is it so special? Because
the way it's shot is just beautiful. The beautiful blue tones of this movie, but definitely. The acting performances you got obviously De Niro, you got Pacino.
At their peak, you'd say.
Yeah, at their peak. You've got Val Kilmer, which I think perhaps his best role.
Probably his best role.
Could you
definitely
say
his best role.
He's definitely up there.
Well, other than as Jim Morrison. Oliver Stone's The Doors. But Michael Mann's Heat is amazing because these two characters don't really come together.
Yeah.
Even though you see them concurrently in the film.
Yeah.
Until this amazing coffee shop scene.
Magical moment.
And this sit down at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Based on a real life kind of incident, apparently.
Yeah.
It's just you don't want to give anything away, but the dialogue's magical and the depth of the dialogue.
Well, and if I'm not wrong, those two actors had never appeared in a film before. And
not in a scene at the same time. They're both in The Godfather, but they're not in a scene at the same time until Heat.
Because I often had this romantic idea that when they actually filmed that scene, that was actually the first time they'd ever been in the room.
I think that was the idea.
Because that would be amazing if that's what it was.
I can't recall from the director's commentary. I listened to it ages ago, but I think that was one of the the basis of the scene.
Yeah, but I think the other thing that really is so important with that film is the story. Because I remember you actually showed me, maybe a few years after I saw that film, a film called LA Takedown.
LA Takedown.
Which it's basically the same film. It's the exact same film, but shot on a low budget.
Yeah, it's a TV.
By the same director.
That's right. Michael Mann made this for TV, and it's basically like a rough draft.
Yeah, if you've never seen it and you love Heat, go and watch it, because it's an amazing... It just shows you that it's not just the film style or the massive actors, it's just the story that this guy's written and his direction.
Michael Mann, 1981 movie called Thief. Have you ever heard of it? About a jewel thief.
I don't think I've seen it.
James Caan, it's amazing. There's a coffee shop.
He's the thief?
Yeah. Can I just say, there's a coffee shop scene in that as well.
Ooh,
but it's
he
a bit
loves
different.
His coffee shop scene.
It's between a man and a woman.
Ooh.
And I don't want to give it away, and don't watch it out of context, so you should see it in the film. But the other thing that's interesting is this lead actor, James Caan, he uses a deliberate staccato spoken style in this film.
You mean like a stutter, or...?
Well, I guess he
not
a stutter. The rhythm's a staccato rhythm, so it's like...
Can you give us an example?
Yeah, he says things like, I have run out of time. I have lost all. Definitely something to be seen. Look, I can't not mention Scorsese's films as well, like Goodfellas, Casino.
Yeah.
Casino's, like, to me, Goodfellas Mark II, because it's got the addition of Sharon Stone and, an incredible performance. Any other films that really...
You actually showed me maybe a couple of weeks ago The King of New York, and I haven't. I really, really want to watch the whole film. I want to sit down and see the whole film, because
it's really interesting.
I do love a bit of Walken action.
Yeah, Christopher Walken. No one like him.
No, and his performance in that is, well, like in everything, it's just magical. I think I saw 5 minutes of it.
His eyes, and there are intense scenes he's in, and. What's interesting, he often forgets his lines. So apparently the reason he comes across so intensely is he's looking off screen at lines.
Really?
And then coming back and focusing on the character ahead of him.
That's so funny.
We read it as this character deep in thought, but he's forgetful of his lines.
Masterful.
Yeah. But I love him. I love him as well, yeah.
And the other one that actually pops up in my mind is, do you remember a few years ago, it must be more than 15 years old now, is Infernal Affairs.
Infernal Affairs, the Hong Kong film.
Hong Kong
production. Remade as The Departed by Scorsese, yeah.
Which I didn't actually like too much. I didn't like The Departed.
Nah, The Departed's not as good as Infernal
Affairs. It just didn't
fit,
yeah, but it was such a brilliant tale. And those actors, I mean, I've seen them in many Chinese films, but amazing. Just such a thrilling plot.
Yeah, I think...
well shot.
Yeah, that's right. It had basically this cat and mouse game between two people.
Because both of them are on the wrong side, like on the other side.
Oh, that's right.
As double agents.
That's right, yeah.
And
so the cop is acting as the crim, and the crim is acting as the cop.
Yeah, and they both have the same role, which is to find out who the mole is or whatever it is.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's so funny. So... and we haven't given anything away there too. That's just the basic plot of it, the premise.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of crime films, like obviously from the 40s and 50s. I don't want to bore people, but you can look it up. All the film noir from Hollywood studios. There's an interesting thing though. Recently, a lot of people really got into this Ryan Gosling film called Drive. Have you heard of this?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Is that another Nicholas Winding Refn production?
100% it is.
It is, yeah.
The guy who directed Pusher.
Pusher.
Yeah.
Classic film.
So what's interesting is that film really reminded me of this 1970s movie called The Driver, directed by Walter Hill. So
was it based on the same thing?
It's a similar thing about a driver. So I don't know. I'm just saying, if you're into that Gosling film, just go back and watch the other one as well. And look, there's just so many to talk about. There's Tarantino's,
Pulp Fiction,
crime films. But I think what's really interesting is Carlito's Way.
Sean Penn.
Do you want to remind me of that line that Viggo Mortensen delivers?
Hey man, I can't feel, I can't hum.
That's exactly what he says. That's exactly what he says. It's just the whole stress and the strain behind his performance.
It's arrogant. It's amazing.
Yeah, and you got Sean Penn in this frizzy hair as this,
this wild cocaine snorting lawyer.
Yeah, and it's just the ultimate film about someone trying to go straight. Carlito, this gangster's come out of prison, played by Al Pacino, and I just think it's amazing.
It was a good role because he didn't want to go back in, did he? Yeah.
You have to get along. So I guess till next time, we're going to go enjoy the UFC now.
Yes, 100%.
Hey, two brothers and a mic.